Okay.
Okay, we are back with part 2, and you saw me starting to mix the stuff with by hand. Well, sometimes the liquids don't react. I don't know if it's the wheat gluten or whatever, but you know, sometimes you make certain adjustments. This time what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit more molasses because I didn't feel like I had really got as much as I normally do. And then the mixture, if it turns out watery when you're doing it, sometimes it'll set up. What you got to do is you just got to play it by feel. And so it's not rocket science. Don't worry about it. If you find out that if it's feeling wet, super wet, then just start using some more and just put it in there, because it's the final product you want. It doesn't really matter. The ingredients can vary, weather can affect it, anything else, but it's how it feels before you cook it is what matters. And you can see what it's doing is it's starting to just really hang together. Before, I had water all over the place around it and stuff, and it wasn't taking it in, so I knew I needed to just go ahead and make some additions to it. And the whole thing is you really got to work it by hand. And I still feel like this batch is a little more watery than I care for, but see how that's getting all pulley and everything?
Rubbery.
Rubbery. That's what you want. You don't want it dry, but in the same sense, you don't want it wet. If that makes any sense. You want it a damp feeling, but, you know, not just to where it's just soft and wet. That's why I'm going to go ahead and add just a little bit more. I've actually added now a little more than probably 3.5, 4 tablespoons. But like I say, it's the final product. You want to end up with it all squashed in and everything else. Yeah, that's feeling. Because it starts wanting to kind of stick to you, but not. It's damp enough to let go of you. But you can see it's a lot drier look now and stuff. And you can sit there and hold it like this, and the weight's pulling on it, but it's rubbery and this. And you want to work it a lot though, because you want to make sure it's mixed real well. Plus, you want as little air as possible inside of it. So you just keep working it and working it, and like I said, it just keeps getting firm to where, I mean, it's just it's actually pretty fun. I'd have loved to have done this as a kid. I guess maybe some kids might have tried to eat blubber, if any of y'all know what that is. But anyway, you can see there's pretty much what we're coming out with right there. And now sometimes I'll put it out and I'll squash it flat and cut it with a pie or pizza cutter, but it's not really how I like to do it. I really enjoy rolling it up and letting it kind of come together and firm up a little bit. You can see it starts holding the shape pretty darn good. See how I'm hitting it, and it feels wet, but notice how it's not really leaving. It's leaving dampness on the bottom, but it's not leaving water. And it's very sticky, but in the same sense, it's not sticking to me. Before, when I was mixing it, it was sticking to my hands a lot and stuff. Where this is, and like I say,
So you're just getting the air bubbles out.
well, I'm getting a lot of the air bubbles out, but when I do it this way, I don't concentrate as much on the air bubbles as just making sure that I feel like everything's mixed together pretty well. And so, it looks like we're pretty ready, and we're going to take a break right here real quick and let our water get boiled back up, and then we'll come and start cutting it and seeing what we're doing.